I'll be frank for a second. I just started watching Spawn, created by Todd McFarlane. Y'all, I just got it. It's in 8 minutes. And it's like, why are you so dark, Olivia? Look, the guy told me turn off all the lights. I'm trying to follow his direction. I'm scared too.
There's so much darkness and despair in the world. You wouldn't think that despite the cruelty, someone you were close with would stab you in the back. That isn't the case for Al Simmons. Because of what happened, he becomes the anti-hero that is today's video, Spawn. Todd McFarlane's Spawn was one of the most intense and grim-looking shows I've seen from adult animation. My life hasn't been the same after it, and I have to let you know why the show is worth it. I was aware of Spawn for some time, but I didn't know exactly where to find it. Also, learning that Keith David was the voice of Spawn, there was no turning back on the show. In his resume of voice acting roles, he takes such charge and demand with his characters. With Spawn, it was a real deal for Keith to be the one voicing the anti-hero hidden in the shadows. The show is based on Todd McFarlane's comics on Spawn. Todd McFarlane is a comic book writer who was also an artist for The Amazing Spider-Man during the 80s and 90s. There's also Batman Year 2, Haunt, and The Incredible Hulk. Since 1992, Todd McFarlane worked on Spawn, and the legacy of Spawn would span into a movie, various video games, and merchandise. He was very involved with the project thanks to HBO allowing him to do whatever he wants and giving the team a big budget for their first season, even doing a small intro before each episode. Though he was very involved, the show was also developed by Al B. McElroy, who was a collaborator of McFarlane. From what we got, I am amazed that HBO gave McFarlane the platform to express his comics through animation. Former Marine Lieutenant Colonel Al Simmons was once a man who worked as a government assassin and had a wife named Wanda. Things changed drastically when he was betrayed by someone, resulting in him burning to death. Simmons ends up in hell and makes a pact with the devil, Melbolgia, to return to Earth with one catch. Simmons will now become a soldier of Melbolgia's army, later Simmons being known as Spawn. However, a deal with the devil has some unspoken rules. Spawn did return to Earth for another 5 years. His body isn't his own, but a rotten corpse beyond decay. He learns that Wanda has remarried to his best friend Terry and share a daughter together named Scion. Terry also works as an analyst under Jason Wynn, who is also a power broker of the CIA, along with dealing with the black market in secret. Though Spawn can't be back with Wanda, he still watches over her and her family. During the series, Spawn deals with his constant struggle of turning evil and keeping his humanity despite the awful things that's happened to him. He hides into the shadows of the alleys and fights for any injustice in the city. I've mentioned some characters before, like Spawn, who was once Al Simmons. I don't want to spoil other characters as their roles become more expanded in the series, but other characters in the show are the following: Cagliostro, Violator, Sam and Twitch, and Chapel. The true and sole reason I had to make this video was because of the animation. The colors are dark and muted and treats itself like a drama series where actions have consequences and no one is safe from the dangers that goes on. The designs are sharp and edgy. Each action sequence were striking as you could feel the punches and gunshots. Even the stature that Spawn takes is so looming as his cape blows in the wind. I could argue it has a similar style to Batman the Animated Series. The comparison is true, as some of the animators and producers who once worked on Batman would work on this series. Eric Romdinsky as the producer, Shirley Walker as music composer, John Shirley and John Legally as writers, and Jennifer Young Nelson as an animation director. Back then, some reviews stated the show was too gruesome, but I like to raise the concern that it could have gone further. I appreciate how Todd McFarlane dismantles the misconceptions of animation. Quoted by the Tampa Bay Times, people have such a stereotype about animation. They immediately think cartoons and Disney. They're not used to seeing Silence of the Lamb, The Godfather, and Seven all in a cartoon, but that's what they're getting. In the world of animation, any kind of story can be told. If someone is fine with watching Law & Order SVU, The Walking Dead, or Black Mirror, why would it be a problem if those themes and concepts are animated? Just some food for thought. During Season 3, Spawn is still battling his inner demons. Twitch would get shot by Wynn after investigating a series of alley murders, and Spawn did the unthinkable by shape-shifting himself into Terry and make love with Wanda. Wanda is pregnant and possibly carrying the Antichrist that will cause chaos in the world. There were plans for Season 4, but it got cancelled due to budget cuts. Spawn was a brutal yet amazing show depicting a man walking on a thin line of good and evil. It may have only had 3 seasons, but those seasons highlighted the greatness of Todd McFarlane's comics. A prime example that animation can be seen in the same level as live-action television. I really hope in the future that there's a creator out there who wants to tell a compelling story with themes and topics most people didn't expect to see in animation. And if you're interested, go check it out. If anything, I just hope you get to hear the brilliance of Keith David's voice as he plays Spawn. And I also hope you turn your lights off when you're watching. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.